Hey guys, Sundown here. This is going to be my chapter review to Nanatsu no Taizai of the 7 Deadly Sins 279, The Ringing of the Victory Bell. Now this is a really good chapter and I've only read it once. Let me explain why this review has come out so late. So essentially, I'm moving out to another city and I have to find a place to live in like the next week, so everything's really hectic, and I also need to go to Edinburgh for like a week and live out there for a week just for my company, who I'm going to start to work for. So I'm gonna go to Edinburgh for a week, live there, and then I need to in that same week I need to find a place to live in another city, and basically try and find a really nice place to live on the budget that I've got. So it's really hectic right now, and reviews are gonna probably be put on the back burner for a bit, but I'm going to try and get them out when I can. So I haven't even reread this chapter. This is going to be my reread, but I'm going to try and review it as well as I can. So it's called The Ringing of the Victory Bell. Now, it was a really good chapter because we got to see Maya kick some ass, and I knew he was going to kick some ass, but we also got to see the kind of combined attack from King, Gautha, and Diane. So King goes into this into his True Spirit Spear Chastity Fall 6th form, which is called the Idra cloth. I think that's how you pronounce it, Idra cloth. And I swear Idra is a Norse kind of tree. I think it's the tree of life or something like that. Well, it might not even have anything to do with life. I think it's just a giant ass tree in Norse mythology, and I think it might have something to do with there's a squirrel on it or something like that. There's something like that. Look it up. So yeah, so King clothes himself in this Idra cloth, and he looks it looks weird but dope at the same time, because he's got this chest plate that's kind of like it looks like it's got like a flowery petally design, and it looks really cool. And then he's got these like two Baraka looking ass claws, Mortal Kombat, and but his feet have gone missing, so it looks funny in that sense. But he uses this form, and then combined with obviously Diane's Dance of Dolor, or Dolor. I don't know why I said Dolor, but so Dance of Dolor and Gautha's Kaleidoscope. This Trinity attack basically really just amplifies King while he does actually do some damage. It looks like, anyway. He looks like he's kicking the shit out of Mile at one point, but we find out better than that. So he does land a couple hits, and it looks like there's millions of Kings going in and just attacking him. So it's really, his magic is being amplified by Diane, and his abilities are being and then no, actually it's not. It's and then I think it's Gautha amplified the kind of illusory capabilities of he didn't amplify the illusory capabilities. He just made illusions around King to help him kick some ass. So that's essentially what happened, and Hawk sees this and he's like, yo, this is pretty dope. So King's putting in the work, and he lands a couple hits on Mael, until Mael then uses one of his commandments, and all you see is him pull out this bell, and it's called the Bell of Truth. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm not sure which commandment it is. I've forgotten which one that symbol represents. Actually, I'm pretty sure Gautha mentions it. So he rings this bell, and all the King clones essentially get destroyed, and Gautha he's just like, what the hell? Like he doesn't understand what's going on, but he realizes instantly that it's the commandment that he used, that kind of they won't be able to take him on with like these magical abilities. So basically he's prevented them from using their magical abilities. I think that was what was said. Yeah, actually, let me just make sure. So he says he's materializing his commandments into it. We won't be able to take him on with any half-hearted magical powers. Yeah, so it looks like they won't be able to use magical abilities for a bit, I think. So, but then what Elizabeth notices here is that he's just kind of shuffling through his commandments, and he's able to use whichever one he wants. So then he goes, okay, so that was a commandment of truth, I think, obviously, because it's called the Bell of Truth. So then he uses another commandment, and this time he uses his commandment of silence, which was our boy Munspeet, and this scythe just pops out of this like portal in the ground, almost like Oslo's portal, and it just completely hamstrings Diane. And I thought she actually did really well, considering she just got sliced around the back of her like left thigh. All she goes is and I was like, okay. And King also gets sliced upside his back, but I don't think his was too deep, to be fair. But Diane had got a really, really good shot across her thigh, and I was like, ooh, that looks a bit painful. And she tries to go heavy metal to kind of like counter this freaking flying scythe, and she realizes that she can't activate her magic. And then King actually, I don't think the Bell of Truth actually actually stop their magic. I think it was the Scythe of Silence which which prevented them from using their magic. I think the Bell of Truth simply just got rid of the illusory effect of Galtha's kind of many king thing. So with this, because Diane's been struck by the scythe, she can't use her magic, and because King has been struck by his scythe, he can't use magic as well. And you can see the kind of the symbol of the commandment of silence, or I think it was reticence. Is it? I think it was reticence, but silence on both Diane's thigh and King's, just below like his left scapula. So it's the cursed seal of silence, and both of their magic powers have been sealed. And I was like, yo, this is actually really dope. So with both of them down, Elizabeth's there just like, I need to heal you up quick time. But Miles too clever for that, and he prepares like another atom bomb in his hand. And Galtha's just looking at this like, bro, if they take this, they're both done. So he then goes into like this really Chaozu looking move. He just goes and hugs Miles, and Miles' kind of arm is just hanging limp by him, and he's still building up power. And actually, no, at this point he's not still building up power. It looks like it just dispels while Galtha's hugging him. So yeah, you just have Galtha kind of just like apologizing to Miles at this point, saying that he doesn't want to affect him anymore with anything that he's gonna do, but he needs to save his friend. So we go to a flashback, and I swear I mentioned this in one of my previous reviews. Like I said, that the thing that he had Merlin do for him was going to be some sort of self-destruct thing, and it turns out that's exactly what he wanted. He wanted to install some sort of self-destruct capabilities, and she did. So using magic from Escanor's sunshine, and using 4 great chemical elements of destruction, okay, and then taking that to its limit by using Merlin's infinity. He's prepared to use the self-destructing kind of device in order to obliterate anything within like I think it was a 10-mile radius, which is actually quite disgusting. And I'm not sure what he thought the other guys were going to do in that time, like where they're just gonna they weren't gonna jump 10 miles away while Elizabeth was just healing him. I mean, you got Diane there just hamstrung. So then you see this dust kind of coat Galtha, and he just drops off of Miles and just crashes to the ground. And he's like, what the hell is this smoke? And like all of the weight in his body just shot up all at once. And it turns out that we have Nadia essentially pop up, and she says that is the weight of the burden you should bear. And so essentially this is kind of this is Merosula's commandment. Actually, is this Merosula's commandment? No, this is one of their commandments. I think it's, whose commandment was this? Is it Daddy Eddie's? It might be one of theirs. But basically Nadia comes back to life kind of thing, and she's there talking to Galtha. And obviously no one else can see her, but Galtha can see her, and he's just there in tears. And he's like, this is an illusion that he's seeing from one of Miles' commandments. He's aware of it, but he's still crying. And he obviously wanted to see Nadia, what's her name, Nadia, after all this time. So it's the incense of purity. I've forgotten who the commandment of purity was, so I'm just going to quick time check that out. Yeah, it was Daddy Eddie's. Yeah, I knew it. But yeah, so, and what I liked actually about this was whenever he pulls out a commandment, it seems to have some sort of unique structure. I mean, like he has the one that kind of just builds up like a Rasengan in his hand. He has the incense of purity, which is like this giant scroll thing with like the spikes at the bottom. He had the Bell of Truth, and then and then the Scythe of Silence. I was like, yo, this guy, he has some really crazy powers right now. So Galtha's just there on like an acid trip, and obviously King Elizabeth and Diana just like, what the hell is going on? And you just have Miles there just building up this Rasengan, like gonna blow shit up, and they all realize that it's game over, man. So Oslo's just there, and he's like, I'm gonna protect the king. And you just see like a flashback kind of thing of Ro. And you even have Gerhard kind of like just looking around going, Ro? And I was like, oh my heart. But yeah, so you see like Ro's eye again, and he's like, I'm going to protect what's most precious to you. Now, I didn't think that King would be that precious to Gerhard. I mean, like, she likes him as the fairy king and stuff like that. But, you know, the thing which is most precious to her is kind of, I'm not even sure what's most precious to her at this point. But I suppose what he means is that he's gonna save the fairies from any further damage, and obviously the fairy king and his ties to the fairy king's forest, he doesn't want anything like that to go down again. So Oslo basically tanks this attack, and I assume he's very dead. So next chapter though, it says in this chapter, the sacrifices piling up bring about a strange occurrence in King. My boy is going to get his wings. He's going to get his wings. And the next chapter is called Collapse. So I assume King's going to go apeshit. He's going to grow his wings completely. But the big part is, I don't think he's still going to win. I think he's going to get his wings. He's going to become full powered, but he's not probably going to be able to control it very well. And he's still going to get his ass kicked because Mile has like 4 commandments in him right now. And he's also Mile. So I don't think King's going to do anything. And I think I think I'm still waiting for Meliodas, Ban, and Wild to pop up. So let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow when I do One Piece. But if I don't, you'll know why. So I'll see you guys in a bit.